If your life has been feeling stale and boring lately, it's time to spice it up. You need some novelty, you need change. So often we fall into a pattern that's so similar. Every day blurs into the next one, and it almost feels like there's no real tangible progress. This kind of sets us into this depressive state where we stop seeking growth and opportunity, and instead we start to predict what actions will give us the greatest stimulation. We end up being dopamine fiends or robots that are on autopilot seeking dopamine, and what really happens is that we lose touch with presence. We're no longer in the moment, we're lost. But you can quickly reverse this or undo it by changing things up drastically. That means go to a different country for a while, or go hang out with some brand new people, try different food. Just force yourself to do things differently than you normally would. This type of contrast or changing things really suddenly takes you out of your head, and it really forces you back into the present moment, from which you will have a completely different perspective of your entire life. Some of the things that maybe you've stopped appreciating, you'll find value in them again. But not only that, you'll also see new opportunities. You'll meet new people, right? So when you throw yourself into the unknown, that's where growth happens. You've probably become a little bit too comfortable. Most of us really are a little bit too comfortable. We don't push ourselves outside of that comfort zone, and so our life tends to go on repeat. You know that feeling of Groundhog Day where it's pretty much the same thing again and again and again and again? Well, if you want to break that pattern, you can't just keep doing the same thing and expect different results. That's the definition of insanity. So I'm asking you to answer this right now. What country have you always wanted to visit? Or what new dish have you always wanted to try? What's a hobby that you were curious about but maybe never really quite got into? Because if you can throw yourself into the unknown, if you can experiment, if you can try something that takes you out of that normal routine, all of a sudden you will have such a big breakthrough that you can bring back to your normal everyday life, and it will elevate your performance, it'll elevate your results. I've done this countless times in my life, from learning a new language to learning a few instruments to really just practicing a new way of meditation. Anything that you change, it creates a snowball effect. New ideas start popping into your head. Even if you're in the same type of situation or your life looks the same, you'll see it differently and you'll have a different experience of it, therefore being inspired to make changes. Remember that the essence of life really is growth. And if you're not growing as a human being, you're really denying one of your most important needs. If you don't feel like you're making progress in your life, if this year wasn't better than last year, we've got a problem and we've got to address it. Now, of course, certain things are based on circumstance and maybe you don't have much influence or control over them. But overall, in your mind, in your psychology, are you growing stronger? I just know how easy it is to resist change, to resist improving, because you're so nice and cushiony and comforty right in the spot that you're in right now. I've seen this with countless clients that want to see growth, improvement, and really want to break through, but then they're holding themselves back because they're holding on to what they already have, not willing to let go even for a second to experience what might be. And of course, when I'm working with people one-on-one, it's easy to break them out of it because I'm coaching them every week and I'm holding them accountable. But if you're only a listener, if you're only consuming this piece of content, I want you to hold yourself to it or make someone around you hold you accountable so that you'll follow through and make a change, do something different, spice it up. You are very unlikely to follow through and move out of your comfort zone on your own with no external influence or support. And on that note, if you want my support every week, if you want me to coach you and have you as my personal client, making sure that you're really optimally performing, reaching your goals, getting what you want out of life, then I invite you to hop over to erafael.com. Over there, you can book a one-on-one call with me. We'll talk, see if we're a good fit, and if so, I'll be coaching you and helping you every single week. Again, if you want to take advantage of that, erafael.com, or just use the link in the description. Now, one more thing that you can really do to resuscitate that part of your brain that craves adventure and a challenge, something new, is to think about all the best times you've had in your life. the greatest experiences, usually it was something so out of the ordinary, something different, something incredible and remarkable, not just sitting in the same place doing the same thing over and over and over again. Of course, you've got to get good at your craft, and there are certain things that require repetition to make your life good. Great. But you also need to explore, you need to expand, because so long as you keep sitting in the same spot, doing the same thing, you'll have relatively the same outcome. One of the easiest ways to change this pattern and to break free is by really just reminding yourself of how great it feels to try something different, how much fun it is to explore something new, and the level of excitement and joy that you'll get out of it. If you can preview those emotions right now in this moment, it will give you enough energy to actually start to follow through. And because of that, you'll be energized even more, which then loops back in and makes you feel even better. By creating that positive spiral, by moving yourself out of your current condition, by not allowing your head to kind of fall forward and just go back to the same old, you can really get rid of all the boredom, all the lethargic emotions that are kind of slow and stale, and really set yourself on track to feel fulfilled, to feel excited, and to finally start enjoying your life fully again.